This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay McLovin here on the afternoon show with Tony and Big Glenn. And if you like today's show and like what the commentary is, make sure you give us a subscribe on our YouTube channels at Gonzo Sports Room and Elite Sports Entertainment Network. Without further ado, Tony, kick it off.
Yeah, let's get right into it, guys. Had a NFL game last night. Dallas Cowboys showed up ready to play and pretty much handled the Raiders pretty easily, 33-16. One thing, of course, Dak had a hell of a game, 268 yards, and I think then he had 4 touchdowns. Dallas rushed the ball decent, 114 yards. So the offense was good, but I was impressed with Dallas' defense. I thought they played one of the better games. Of course, like Glenn said earlier before the show, they was playing the Raiders, and the Raiders have been in disarray. So now, can Dallas has got the offense that can play with, I would say, with most teams in the league. I really believe that. Now, can their defense toughen up and keep them competitive and maybe try to get back into the playoff hunt? I don't remember who they played this week, but they've got Kansas City coming up on Thanksgiving Day, which could be a huge game in Dallas. So we'll see if Dallas can turn things around. Jay, your thoughts on the Cowboys game last night?
Oh, absolutely. And just so you know, this is the week coming up for the Cowboys. We are playing none other than probably the best team in the NFL possibly right now, in the Philadelphia Eagles. And Jay may or may not be traveling to Dallas, not to go to the game because I can't afford it, but I'm probably going to go. No, I can afford it, but I didn't get tickets for it. But probably maybe going up there and hanging out and having dinner with Pags before the game and get his thoughts on it. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about this Raiders, man, and this Cowboys game. And I don't know if it's one of your top seat questions. If it's not, we definitely need to talk about it. And that is if Pete Carroll has outplayed himself and maybe it's time to hang it up. And
he should stay retired.
And if it's not, then we'll talk about that here in a minute. But let's talk about it, man. I had Ashton Genty for my running back, so I was really paying close attention to what he did in this game. And if it was interestingly enough to me because up until about halftime, and maybe even after halftime, he only had a handful of carries. Like Pete Carroll had no desire to really try to run the ball against Dallas. He pretty much had that whole offense geared towards passing, and they were going to live and die by that damn pass. And it just didn't work out for them. You have to have some level of a running game. Now, he did try to get Ashton Genty involved in other ways. They did a few screen passes out in the flat, and Genty got about 6 or 8 yards, which is weird to me, Tony and Glenn, because it actually was effective. Every time they went to Genty out in the flat, he got about 6 to 8 yards, close to that. And he did, but I just don't think he did it enough. And I got to tell you, the fact that they couldn't run up the middle, Logan Wilson and Tyquan Williams that we got from the Jets, it did pay off. I think it has paid off. And I'm really curious to see how these new additions are going to come out towards the Eagles when we go up against them in terms of stopping Saquon Barkley and forcing maybe the Eagles to go more in the run game. So we'll see more about that. But, yeah, honestly, Cowboys had a lot of the possessions. So I thought we converted well on not so much on third down, but just on first downs, 24 first downs. They couldn't stop the run. Williams was having his day. Brock Bowers did decently for them. But ultimately, let's be honest, guys, they have zero defense. I mean, you take away Max Crosby, and literally you can do whatever you want with them. Max Crosby is the only damn good thing on that defense. But unfortunately, you cannot survive with one playmaker. It just is not going to happen. And I think that's the biggest thing with Oakland is how are they going to address the defense come next season in terms of playmakers?
What do you think, Big Glenn?
It was a good game for Dallas to win, to get back on track. We're obviously top 4-5-1 right now. It was the Raiders though, but if we exit Thanksgiving Day game and beat Chiefs and be on like a 3-game winning streak, I would say we looking all right. But as far as right now, man, we just took care of business, and that's all I can say.
Yeah, Jay, to go talking about the Raiders and real quick and talk about their head coach, Pete Carroll. You, as you was talking about the team, I almost think you may have answered your own question. They don't have players, man. They don't have any
Yeah.
offensive weapons. You got a rookie running back. The offensive line's not very good. Their defense ain't very good. You got Brock Bowers, and that's about it. I mean, what receiver do they really have? I think they really don't have anything. They've got a quarterback that throws more interceptions than touchdowns, but that may be because of his offensive line and not having enough weapons. I just don't. I mean, this team wasn't very good last year, and they're probably worse this year. But they've got to make some big changes on
Raiders
this
never,
team.
yeah, Raiders should never let Devontae Adams go, but I understand why Devontae wanted out.
I mean, they don't have talent. They don't have the talent to compete right now. I mean, just to be honest, I think Pete Carroll will get one more year. I don't know if that'll be enough.
I
Uh,
mean, this is how bad it was, Tony. They ran that ball 12 times.
That's not a
12
lot.
times. And at 2.3, hell, Ashton Genty had 1.2 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you what, Dallas did a good job on that run defense. Passing secondary, that's another issue. But our run defense is on point. And if we can do it against Ashton Genty, which I think is a really talented running back, then I got a feeling when we do go against the Eagles, I do think that we can keep Barkley. Now, you're not going to keep him from getting the yardage, but I do think we can keep him contained on the rushing. And I think they're going to have to get very, very creative with Barkley. I think Barkley's going to have to get passes out in the flat. He's going to have to, whatever. But I do not see Barkley doing anything between the tackles. I just don't see that happening.
My thing with containing Barkley is making sure that he doesn't break off any big runs for scores.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if they can contain Barkley, and what I mean by contain, I'm not saying hold him to 30 yards, 40 yards. They can hold him under 100, 70, 75, 80 yards. Don't let him get any, like Glenn said, no big chunks. Big chunks. Where like if he's running first down and get 8 yards, you don't want that. You want Philadelphia to be third and long. You want them to be 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, where they've got to pass the ball. A lot of people think Philadelphia's quarter. Some people think he's trash. Some people think he's great. I don't think he's either. I don't think he's great. I don't think he's trash. I think he's middle of the road, maybe a little above average because he can run the football. But you want them in passing downs. You want them to be forced to pass the ball. And that's how you try to beat Philadelphia. Philadelphia's not scoring a lot of points right now, but their defense ain't giving up very many points. Their defense is right now as good as anybody in the league. Right now, the last 2 or 3 games, Philadelphia's defense is as good as anybody. Guys, you guys got anything else on this Dallas and Raider game?
I do not.
I just think I know Logan. He was very upset about the Cowboys and Raiders. He wasn't exactly excited. But if you're Raider Nation, man, my biggest thing is acquisition of talent. Like you said, they let it go to Jacoby Myers. I don't know why you would let go of Jacoby. I would have kept that dude. I don't, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, they definitely need somebody.
I do have a small caveat to add to that, and if you're a season ticket member with the Oakland Raiders, and if you're not going to all the games, you're definitely damn sure making money in the resale market.
That's all I got, though.
I had one other thing on Dallas. Is Pickens Dallas's number one now? He almost seems like he may be their number one receiver.
Yeah, I think obviously CD is getting covered a lot, so it really does open up the door for a guy like George Pickens. The only thing I would tell Pickens is maybe you didn't see Williams do it and get the unsportsmanlike and the 15 yards on the extra point, and then you go and do the same damn thing. Come on, guy, listen, man. I'm all for celebrating, but stop jumping on the goalpost.
Yeah.
Stop giving us damn penalties. We are not Detroit. We have to earn everything we get. We don't get a lot of things, easily to us. So when we do get a touchdown or a celebration, let's not penalize our team. Okay.
You know who pick us reminds me of, Jay? Alvin
Okay.
Harper back in the day.
Yeah. Well, you can be Alvin Harper and we got a Super Bowl caliber team. Right now,
Yeah.
we don't got no Super Bowl caliber team.
No.
So I'm proud to be Alvin damn Harper.
Okay, guys, let's move on. I had one other thing in the NFL. Well, all my we got some hot seat questions, and they're all NFL. But the next thing in the NFL I wanted to talk about was Cincinnati Bengals Jamar Chase hit with a 1-game suspension without pay after spitting on Pittsburgh Steelers cornerback Jalen Ramsey. As of last I heard, he was scheduled to miss the New England game. I know he's appealing it, so I don't know what that means, how long the appeal system takes, if he might get to play that game and then serve the suspension later since he appealed. I don't know how that works. I know it's different in different leagues, so I'm not sure on that. But Jay, your thoughts on Jamar Chase?
Well, my first thought is I felt like if you're going to eject Jalen Ramsey for throwing a punch in reaction to being spit on, then you damn sure should have ejected Jamar Chase for doing the spitting, especially when it's on review.
Yeah.
And you clearly see it. So that would be my first thing is why was he not ejected? And if I'm Jamar Chase, at least be glad you didn't get ejected. Secondly, though, he has to say that. He can't come out and admit he did this. If he comes out and admits he did, that'd be the worst PR move ever. Yeah, he's going to have to deflect it because you got to figure once he says it, and then endorsements go down the drain, all these other things, because nobody wants a spitter on their team that's an admitted spitter. So he has to, from a business standpoint, he can't take that accepted responsibility. Now, and again, he does have to appeal it. But here's the thing. This is where the league has to say, hey, we're not going to tolerate it. Even though you're technically not going to admit to it because of these things, we still know you did it. You can't be that close and then have it directed right to his chest. It's not like he looked down. He looked at him and did it. So it is what it is. And he's lucky. He's lucky he only got a game. He's lucky he only got 1 game. I don't play around with bodily fluids. I mean, you put somebody with it. I don't play around, but I'm just surprised. But he needs to take the damn game suspension, but he's not going to.
No, he's going to get it anyway, but because they've got the evidence. But Big Willie, your thoughts?
What a dumbass move that Jamar Chase did. I mean, the Patriots were going to smack the fuck out of Bengals anyway. So the dude Mala to just take the game, but obviously he's going to appeal it. So because the Bengals about out of the playoff anyway at this point.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it happened earlier this year. Somebody got spit on, and I think it was the Philadelphia player spit on somebody, and I think he got ejected, didn't he?
He got ejected and got a game.
He got a game suspension. So I look for Chase to definitely get suspended. So what game it's going to be, I know Frankie would love for it to be the New England game.
He would love. I don't think Frankie cares about Cincinnati. I think he knows he's got Cincinnati. If it was a tougher team, he would probably love it. But
not having Chase on the field's a plus, though.
Oh, that's a huge plus. And I don't even know who is fantasy. Who is he? Somebody's got him. If you're a fantasy person, you're thinking like, oh my god,
I've got him on one of my teams.
Oh, do you?
Yes,
yeah.
I do.
If you're a fantasy league person, you're probably thinking like, oh my god, really?
Yeah. Well, all right, guys, let's get on the hot seat here. Let's do some hot seat questions. My first question is Carolina Panthers are 6-5 right now. Right now, they are not in the playoffs right now, but they're close. Does the Carolina Panthers make the playoffs? They're 6-5 right now. Jay, what do you think? Do you think they make the playoffs?
Well, if they do, right now, who's they're in Tampa right now. I think that's Tampa division. So Tampa, I think, currently holds the first place on that one. Am I correct on that?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's a good one. I got to tell you, the way they're playing right now, they are silently making a case for that. I think as long as that ball continues to flow through Dowdle and that run game and let Bryce do, things here and there, and that defense is playing well, they have a case for the wild card. I don't know if they have enough to get the division, but they definitely have enough, I think, to get the wild card. And they may have enough to get to the division because now with the injuries and the way that Tampa's kind of been playing and kind of taking some hits, it's possible. And I never thought I would think that, but it's actually, yeah, I think it is possible.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they got a shot right now. They're out of it right now. Matter of fact, the Detroit Lions are out of it right now. The Lions would not make if it ended right now, the Lions, believe it or not, would not be in the playoffs.
Well,
and Carolina's behind them. So I give Carolina a chance, but right now I'd only give them maybe a 35 or 40% chance. But hey, man, if you can get a 2 or 3 game win streak going, that can change things. So I think they got a shot, but I don't think it's 50-50 at this point. I think they got some more to do. Big Lynn, your thoughts?
I think there is a shot there, but it's going to be hard because it's the NFC, and even if they make it, I don't think they win their game in the first round. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, that would be who thought we'd be talking about Carolina being 6-5 right now?
yeah,
yeah, I was definitely not one of those people.
Yeah.
I will tell you. Okay, look now. If you look at now, they are only a half game out of first right now with Tampa, and they can actually do it if in certain things happen. So, for example, they play Carolina Tampa plays Carolina at the end of the season. So that little half game is a possibility. Now, if you look at their schedule, they got the Rams, who have a tough defense and offense. I fully expect Tampa to lose that game. Then you have Arizona, which Arizona has a tough defense, and Brissett is getting something out of that offense. So that could be a 50-50 game given Tampa's injuries. So that could be, so you got a 1 and then you got a possible. So 1 and a possible. Now, New Orleans, yeah, they'll beat. I don't see them not beating New Orleans. Then you got Atlanta, but they don't have Penix, so I think they take Atlanta. And then you play Carolina twice. Then you got Carolina, followed by Miami, followed by Carolina. So in all honesty, I think it really is in their own hands. I think it's in their destiny. It really just depends on how they play Tampa Bay. But it's possible they could win the damn division, Tony, to be honest with you. And I don't think it's crazy to say that.
That may be their best route. I think they could have a better route of winning the division than making it as a wild card, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I will tell you, though, Carolina does have a tough schedule, though. They do have San Fran, followed by the Rams, followed by New Orleans. Then they got Tampa. Then they got Seattle, Tampa. So
that's tough.
I think, and that's what I'm saying. I think they both have tough schedules. Both of them could take possible losses. I think it really comes down to when they play Tampa twice and how that unfolds.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep. Okay, guys, my next question is Chicago Bears. That's another team, man. I don't think any of us thought they would be 7-3 right now. Do you think that they continue to play well, and do they make the playoffs? Chicago Bears at 7-3, and I think are hit first place in their division.
Yes, they are.
So, Jay, your thoughts on the Chicago Bears? Do they make the playoffs?
I think they make the playoffs, but I don't think they go far. The only downside to Caleb Williams right now is when it's a scripted play, like Bo was talking about earlier on the show today. When they do scripted plays, which is usually 10 to 15 scripted plays, he looks great. When they run out of scripted plays and he has to do it on his own, not so great. So it really just kind of depends on, the future development or the continuing development of Caleb Williams. But I think right now, I think they make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to make it as a division leader. I think they eventually give that up, but I think that they get in as a wild card.
Big Lynn?
They do make the playoffs. I think there's a good chance they might win the division. They just need to win their divisional games that they have left.
Yeah, I'm 50-50 on this. I used to be a Bear fan before the Colts came many years ago, before the Colts got here. So I was a Bear fan at one time, and still kind of like the Bears. Most of my brothers are Bear fans. So I follow them, what they do. I mean, I know they're 7-3. They're doing pretty well. I just don't know if I have complete confidence that they won't collapse. I worry that they collapse and miss the playoffs. But right now, they're leading the division. You got to consider them at least a 60% chance. They're leading the division with 6 or 7 games left. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Bears make the playoffs. I kind of agree with you guys. I don't think they'll go far, but I do think they'll make it. I think it's a tough question here. Number 3 question. Biggest surprise in the NFC this year? Carolina, Chicago, or Seattle?
Say that one more time.
Biggest surprise in the NFC this year? Carolina, the Bears, or Seattle?
For me, it's Carolina. I think it's Carolina because I knew when Ben Johnson came over and some of the things that he was going to do to develop that culture, I felt like there was ways he was going to get that team, and they have a lot of talent. Chicago has a lot of talent. It wasn't their issue. I think for them it was culture and the development and putting Caleb Williams in the right spots, and I think Ben Johnson shown that. I think with Carolina, for me, it was more can Bryce Young actually be the guy there. I was still skeptical about his size and things of that nature. So I think for me, it was Carolina.
What about you, Big Lynn?
Chicago did not look too good last year, and I didn't expect much different from them this year so far, but they've looked good early and often. There's been a few games where they haven't been consistent, but it appears that they got shit figured out or close to it.
I'm going to kind of go with Jay. I think it's close. I think you can make an argument for all 3 teams because we didn't know how Darnold was going to do in Seattle. Also, a new head coach, so we weren't sure how they were going to do. But we knew Seattle had some talent on that team. We knew Chicago had talent. That's the thing why I picked Carolina, kind of like Jay. Carolina ain't got near the talent on their team as those other 2 teams, in my opinion. They don't. I don't know if they've got a number 1 receiver. Does appear they've got a number 1 running back, maybe a decent number 2 when the other guy's healthy. So they're good in the running game. The quarterback position is playing better, but the last couple of years it have been terrible. So, yeah, I think the biggest prize is Carolina. I mean, if Carolina can win 8 or 9 games, even if they don't make the playoffs, they still have to feel pretty good about themselves,
Yeah.
because they're definitely moving in the right direction. But they got to get more talent on that team to really do anything because they don't have enough talent. You compare their talent to Seattle or Chicago, and there's no comparison, in my opinion. Okay, guys. Next up, what's wrong with the Detroit Lions? Right now, they would not even be in the playoffs. I think they're 6-4. I didn't expect this. I thought Detroit was going to be 1 or 2 in the league on the NFC side. Big Glenn, what do you think's wrong with the Detroit Lions?
Everybody has them scouted now. I feel like it's a big thing, and Dan Campbell being the play caller like he hasn't really adjusted to the being figured out. So if they can get stuff figured out, then they might be able to sneak in the playoffs. But I don't think they're going to win the division. The division for the NFC North is going to be either Minnesota, Chicago, and that's pretty much that. I don't even think Green Bay's going to be in the playoffs in that way either. So.
Jay, what do you think? What's wrong with the Detroit Lions?
Defense, and more defense, which they have none of it right now. Aiden Hutchinson and company are just not getting it done right now. And I think it shows in the run game. I think it shows in a lot of different ways. But primarily for me, I think it's defense, but I also think it's play calling. I feel like, or not play calling, but the aggressiveness of the play calling. Let me rephrase that because I'll make it clear. The aggressiveness of the play calling. I think they go for 4th down every single time. They don't even think about doing the field goal or the punt. They always seem to be going for this damn field goal, and you can't keep going 0 for 4 or 0 for 5 or even 1 for 4 or 1 for 5 and think you have a good shot. I just think that Campbell, I like him when he's aggressive, and there are times when you should go for it on 4th. But it shouldn't be your automatic go-to every time you get to the 4th down. You need to be looking at being situational with that. And so for me, it's just more of defense and being too aggressive at times to almost put to a fault.
Jay, I agree with you some on the defense, but if you look at that Philadelphia game, the situation that coach put the defense in, and they only give up they end up giving up like 16, 20 points or something like that with all the times that he turned the ball over, sometimes on his own side of the field, and to give up points. They lost, I think, 16-9. So, I mean, really the defense I agree with you. They do have problems stopping the run at times. That's something they got to sure up. I agree with you there. But their defense has been kind of a bend don't break because they've not been terrible this year. To me, I think the biggest thing is when they win games, they run the football. When they're able to run the football well, they win the games. When they have trouble running the football well, uh, they struggle. So I think that's a big key in my opinion. Guys, next up, uh, Baltimore Ravens are 5-5. How much faith do you have in the Ravens? Uh, my opinion, I think they're going to win. I think they're going to come back and win the division now. I really do. I think they're going to beat Pittsburgh. I think now you got Aaron Rodgers banged up. I think Baltimore's going to come back and get this division, but I don't know if I have faith in them to still win the big game. I don't know if their defense is good enough, and how many times has Jackson won the big game? So I think they possibly win the division, maybe win a game, but I don't think they go any further. Jay, what do you think?
No, I'm right there with you. I still feel like they are just, it's something that's still missing for me. With Lamar there, they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, they're going to make the playoffs. But for me, they do have a good. They live and die by the run. And also let's not be honest. This is not the same Ravens defense like they used to have. They used to be able to have a great defense with Ray Lewis or Suggs, but they don't have that kind of defense anymore. And the defense 9 times out of 10 could bail them out because they've never had a power offense, right? They've always had a decent running offense with a few pass plays, and Mark Andrews being the savior as a receiver, even though he's a tight end, he's really like a wide receiver 1 at times, and it's not like Likely, who came onto the scene, has done anything either, or Zay Flowers really, even for that matter. So for me, they don't have that defense to lean on anymore. And because you don't have that defense to lean on anymore, it exposes that anemic offense that is centered around the run. And if we all know anything, the run game has been down across the league this year. Go ask Saquon Barkley, who's only averaging about 65 yards a game right now, except for Jonathan Taylor. He seems to be the stud of the league. But that's just my point. Lack of defense, anemic offense translates into playoffs, but first round probably exit.
Yeah, I agree, Jay, because Baltimore's defense has played better lately, but they've also played weak teams. So they've been on a win streak, but they've played weaker teams. So again, I just don't have a lot of faith in them to go real far. Big Glenn.
They do come back to win the division, but they'll probably get lucky enough to play Kansas City in the first round and get beat.
Well, that's an interesting thing to talk about. Let's move on. Let's talk about them Kansas City Chiefs. Right now, man, Kansas City's 5-5. They're 2 full games out of the playoffs right now because Jacksonville's in front of them, and they lost to Jacksonville. So even though Jacksonville's 6-4, they hold the tiebreaker over Kansas City. So right now, and Kansas City is well out of the division. They lost to Denver. Denver, I believe, is 9-2, 8-2 or 9. No, Denver's 9-2. So Kansas City's chances of winning the division are I mean, I'm gonna say slim. I mean, right now you've already lost to Denver, and you're 3 or 4 games full back from them. So things are not looking good for Kansas City and their schedule. I mean, they got the Colts coming up this Sunday, and then they got a short time, and they go to Dallas for a Thanksgiving game. So these next 2 games for Kansas City are must wins. Even if they lose one of those games, they're in trouble. And if they something happened and lost both of them, they would probably be out. So, what do you guys think? Does Kansas City make the playoffs this year? Glenn?
No, and their dream of going back to the Super Bowl again is going to be over this Sunday, courtesy of Jonathan Taylor and Indiana Jones himself. Then on Thanksgiving they go upset Caitlin Clark, with her being a Chiefs fan, and Cowboys is going to get it done there too, and it's going to be 55-10.
I'm not as confident as you are about the Colts. Do I think the Colts win? Yes, but I am worried because we're going to Kansas City. That's not an easy place to play, and we've not been great on the road. We lost to the Rams on the road. and we got killed by the Steelers on the road. So I think this is a proof game. I mean, I know
Yep.
Kansas City might be not the normal Kansas City, but yeah, this is a proof game for the Colts, in my opinion. But let's get off the Colts. Jay, your thoughts? Does Kansas City make the playoffs?
Yeah, that's hard to say. I mean, right now they're at 5-5. I definitely think the clutch effect is no longer a part of their game. The aura is slowly the aura has faded down quite a bit. And Taylor Swift, though, is still kicking strong to the point where I told you, I don't know what it is. I do not know what it is about athletes getting involved with celebrity, either artists or Kardashians or whatever they want to be. I mean, Romo, he had his run with it, and it never turned out well for him. James Harden had the Kardashians. Lamar Odom had the Kardashians, and you know how it worked out for them. And now you got Travis Kelce involved, and I guess now engaged, soon to be married.
And we had every other NBA player at one point with the Kardashian, but that's beside the fact.
Okay, you see what I'm saying? And so now he's, and I don't know if you noticed, but ever since Taylor Swift got there, they got the one Super Bowl, but then after that, it just hasn't, and it's just been bad. And I hate to tell you, Travis, and I don't mean to quote you from when you were at the Super Bowl, but I'm gonna quote you, Travis. You look like a jabroni, baby. You look like a jabroni. Take that for what it is.
Yeah, guys, I think these next 2 weeks are telling. I think it's make or break. I think they've got to beat the Colts and they got to beat Dallas. Even if they go 1-1 in those games, let's say they lose to the Colts and they beat Dallas, or vice versa, they go to 6-6. I think they're in big trouble.
But let's also not look past the fact also that the Chiefs are very one-dimensional right now. I mean, I'm not seeing hardly anything from Hunt or Pacheco to say that they have a run game.
Nope.
And I think that hurts them. When you don't have a run game, it really allows them to zone in on your wide receivers a lot more. And Chris Jones in our defense, you guys haven't been looking good either. They've been giving up a lot of easy stuff up the middle. So, yeah, they got some things to figure out over there. I will never say never to Patrick Mahomes. I just won't. Yeah. But I will tell you, it's looking grim in that side of life.
Well, and you mentioned about Kansas City defense in that Broncos game they had last week.
Yes.
Broncos offense wasn't like they just blew them out of the water, but they made the play when they needed to make it. And Kansas City defense usually stops those plays. If you get them, Kansas City, they're 3rd and 11. They've got Denver 3rd and 11. Denver was making those plays. They was moving the ball and making big plays when they needed it to keep drives going. And that's something Kansas City usually don't give up. And that defense is not bad. I'm not saying their defense is bad, but it's not the big play defense right now that they have been in the past. Next question up, guys. Speaking of the Denver Broncos, they are 9-2. Guys, are they for real? Are they ahead of schedule? To me, I believe in their defense 100%. I'm not a complete believer in the offense, but again, if you can put up with that defense, if you can put up 17, 20 points, they're going to have a shot to win. So maybe their offense don't have to be super, super great. So the quarterback play has to be consistent. That's one thing that hasn't been this year completely. And they're still 9-2. And the 2 games they lost by a couple of points, 2 or 3 points. So Denver, you can make a case Denver could be undefeated right now. Without a penalty against the Colts, they win that game, and then there was another game that they shouldn't have lost. So right now you could make a case that Denver Broncos should be undefeated, and they don't have a super great offense. So, yeah, I believe in Denver. I don't know that I believe in them to be a Super Bowl team, but maybe an AFC championship game, especially if they get home field advantage.
Yep.
Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, when you look at their remaining schedule, they got Washington next, then Vegas, and then Green Bay, and then Jacksonville, and then they wrap it up with divisional games against the Chiefs and the Chargers. It's a doable schedule. I do think I expect them to take care of business against Washington because Washington has their own issues on that offensive line with injuries. So I expect them to get that one. I expect them to get it against Vegas. I think Vegas is just discombobulated to the point where they don't know what's going on. So I expect them to get 2 more easy wins out of that. And then they're going to go up against Green Bay. Now, Green Bay has not looked exceptionally great since they lost Tucker Kraft. Micah Parsons is getting triple teamed, and yet they're really not doing much on the opposite side. I feel like, when you're getting triple teamed, your defense really should open up a lot for other guys to make plays. And I just have not seen that defense do that yet. So I think they can beat Green Bay. Jacksonville is a very intriguing one. You all know that Jacksonville can get you if you're not careful. So I think that could be a trap game. I think Kansas City, I think they can beat Kansas City. I still think Kansas City it hasn't figured it out what they're doing yet, especially, like I said, issues with the defense, issues with the run game. But again, it's Patrick Mahomes, so I can't completely rule that out. And then you got the Chargers, and the Chargers have not looked too good as of late. So I think they can finish off the division. I think they'll take maybe 1 or 2 losses before it's all said and done. But I think that's it. I think there's only 2 losses out of that. And I don't think that's going to be enough for Kansas City to try to come back, or the Chargers for that matter, because Chargers are 2 games back. So I do think that Denver will win that division. How far they go is still kind of unrealistic to me because there's still some tough competition that they're going to face. I think the Colts are probably going to be a little bit too much right now, I think, for Denver. But I think that's going to be the closest one to them. I think Denver probably has the best shot against the Colts versus – and I said, and Frank is going to hate me, I don't think New England is legit. I still think I can't get on that New England bandwagon just yet.
Big Glenn, you go.
Yeah, the Broncos going to win the West and everything. It's obvious that they're far enough ahead now. As long as they don't fall on their ass, they'll be all right. But their defense is good, so we're not too worried about that. I think they're maybe the second or third best team in the AFC, obviously. So,
well, I'm going to switch up here. I didn't have this on as a question, but I'm going to add it since you brought up about New England. Jay, I hate to say this, and it's going to be like poison coming out of my mouth. I think New England's going to get home field advantage.
Oh, they'll get it.
They're going to get home field advantage. And the reason saying is the Colts play the toughest remaining schedule as anybody in the league. They've got Jacksonville twice, who are 6-4. They got Houston twice, who are 5-5. But besides that, they've got Kansas City, 5-5. They've got Seattle, and they've got San Francisco. That's the remaining schedule. Everybody they play the next 7 games are 500 or better. And of course, you know how good Seattle is. They're one of the better teams in the league. I think they're maybe a top 5 or 6 team in the league, possibly. Definitely top 8. San Francisco's a little bit inconsistent because of their injuries, but they're still very good. Houston's playing a lot better now. I still don't have a lot of. It's a division game. You're playing Houston twice. You're playing Jacksonville twice. Are you going to sweep that and win all 4? That's not easy. They're division games. Colts struggle with Jacksonville. So, I think the Colts are going to win the division. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think New England, because of their schedule, and I'm not going to, hey, that's their schedule. You play what you play. But I think New England is going to get home field advantage. And New England is not an easy place to play. So watch out for New England. And it kills me to say that. It pisses me off to say that. But I'm being honest. I'm a Colts fan. I think we could go to New England and beat New England if we get the opportunity. But that's not the point. The point is right now, I think New England should be the favorite to get home field in the AFC because of the schedule.
That's all on schedule though. See, that's the smoke and mirrors of what we're seeing. And Frank, you don't want to hear that term, smoke and mirrors, right? But it's the truth, and I think he knows it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the game that's going to be the deciding factor, 100%, if that really is true or not, is when Buffalo comes to New England. I want to see what Buffalo does when they come to New England. Now, Buffalo has their own issues. Buffalo has some injuries going on in that secondary and in that defense of itself. So, Tony, when you have a schedule, and it is what it is. Yeah, you're right. You play who you play, right? And that's exactly what's happening. You're playing who you're playing, and you're going through a very tough schedule. He's playing who he's playing, and let's be honest, it's fluff. If you take the Buffalo game out of it, it's a fluff schedule what he has left. So it's very doable. Matter of fact, if he doesn't get home field advantage, then that tells me everything I need to know about New England.
That's fair. That's fair. You got any thoughts on that, Big Lynn?
Nope. New England's good.
Okay. Move on to my original question. Still got a couple left. Miami has won 3 out of their last 4 games. They beat Buffalo, they beat Atlanta, and who was the other one? Washington. They beat Washington. So they won 3 out of their last 4. Guys, what the hell has changed in Miami? Looking at the stats, the only thing I could come up with was defense. Their defense has really played well in the last 3 or 4 games. So that's been the key. The offense ain't played a lot better. Played decent at times. Still a little inconsistent. But, man, their defense has really turned it up a notch. So, Jay, what do you think? What do you think has changed in Miami?
Man, I wish I had that answer for you. I still don't believe in Josh McDaniels. I know he's kind of saving his job right now with these wins, and I think to the point where even that GM is probably going to wind up staying there, and I think Tua is going to wind up staying there because of the turnaround. I can't tell you, man. I have not watched any of these games to know but that Miami's played in. But whatever it is, I don't know if they said something. It had to be something said in the locker room, like, "Hey, there's about to be some mass exodus, and we don't." I don't know. I don't know what they're saying, but somebody had to say something, to shake this team up. And I was just looking at their schedule to see, because I didn't. So they played the. Let's see here. That's September. Where are we in November? So we're in November. I'm going the wrong direction. Okay, so actually, well, I don't have the schedule. I'm in my TV, so I don't have it in front of me. So I'm not going to waste any time on that. But yeah, I don't know, Tony. Whatever they said in that team to get them on point, though. Yeah.
And I know Atlanta's not a great team. They got some good players. I think they should be a better team, but they're not a great team. Washington's had all kinds of injuries and they've fallen apart. But Buffalo's not what we thought they'd be, but they're still a good team. So, I mean, to beat Buffalo, and they just beat that shit out of Buffalo, too. I mean, they destroyed them. So, I mean, you got to give them some credit. Big Glenn, your thoughts on – do you have a clue? What the hell's changed in Miami?
I have no clue. I did watch the Miami Buffalo game a few weeks ago, but other than that, great wins.
Yep.
I mean, you probably could. I mean, the Washington game. I mean, they don't even have Jaden Daniels there, so I think Washington is just a dumpster fire right now without Jaden, and they also don't have McLaurin either. So it's just kind of them doing whatever the best they can with what they have, and they really don't have a run game to really even just. I know Christian Rodriguez has kind of come up on the scene a little bit, but they really don't have enough there. So the Washington, I kind of take that win out of the equation, but the Buffalo win. Even with Buffalo's injuries, I felt like Josh Allen should have done a better job. So I look at that almost as much of a Buffalo, as a Buffalo collapse versus a Miami uptick.
Yeah, he didn't do fucking shit that game.
Yeah. Now the Atlanta win. I mean, we all saw the Atlanta game. Atlanta just kind of pooped the bed all the way around. So I don't really put a lot of. I would not put a lot of stock into this Miami team. I think they just have caught some lightning in a bottle against some substandard type teams. And again, I'm not saying Buffalo's substandard, but with the injuries, it makes them a little bit substandard. So yeah, I think you have to keep that with a little bit of a grain of salt. But still, I mean, hey, momentum can change sometimes.
That's true. Next up, guys, Shadur Sanders played for the first time in a regular NFL game. Went 4 of 16 with an interception. A lot of mixed views. I got to see. Of course, I'm going to forget his name. He used to be the coach for the Jets. He's on ESPN. Big guy.
Rex Ryan.
That's right. And he was giving Cleveland a hard time, but he kind of answered his own question. The dude runs the scout team.
Yeah.
So if them offensive linemen are saying they don't know the cadence, what the hell's wrong? I mean, he's doing what he's doing what most backups do, run the scout team. So if they don't know his cadence, I don't know that's on the coach's fault. I mean, he's doing what every backup's doing. So I mean, he's not And I seen some other people come out when people were saying, "Oh, Shadur's not getting treated right," like Chris said yesterday. He's getting treated like every other backup. And so I mean, and I'm not giving Shadur a hard time. He's going to start this next game, and I hope he plays well. And I think Shadur still has got a chance to be a quarterback in this league. I just don't know if it's with the Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
That tells me though that maybe Shadur, if they don't know cadences, and I know Shadur is studying. I know he's doing, because everything out of camp is saying that he's doing the right things. So that tells me that he doesn't have as close of a bond or a close of a chemistry with the other players on that team. That means he's not really being included in a lot. And sometimes I think when you're the guy on the outs and nobody's, you know what I'm saying? I think you don't have that bond with them. You don't have that chemistry and things like that. Now, I'm going to tell you, you can put all, I said what I said, and I do believe that, but I also believe if your ass is going to put legend, and I've said this before, if you put legendary on your chain, then you better come out and be freaking legendary.
Well, did you see him when he came into the game?
I didn't see it. No, I didn't get it because I hadn't gotten coverage.
When he came into the game, I took it, and I'm not giving him a hard time because I think he is who he is. He came in with kind of a swagger and everything. I'm like, dude, just concentrate on playing and getting things right. That other than coming in like a swagger, forget that swagger shit.
Hold on. Now remember, I always say this, Tony. You look. Everybody's a parent, right?
Yeah,
everybody's a parent. Listen.
Yep.
That apple don't fall far from the damn tree.
Yeah.
I can tell you. For all of us that watched the Cowboys in the golden days, what did Dion always do when he came on the field? That dude danced. He had swag. He was doing this. He was doing that. So he just taking after his dad. Honestly.
True. But the big key for that is, and I agree with you, he is taking after his dad. But his dad wasn't a quarterback.
Absolutely.
A quarterback, a defensive player, a wide receiver. Maybe even a running back can do that. A quarterback can't do that.
Yeah. But you know what I do? You know what I do know? And it does fall on Dion, because watch this. Two things I know this. Number one, the biggest influence in Shadur's life is his dad. He's going to do what his dad said. Yep. Number two, his dad was his damn coach.
Yep.
So everything that Shadur is a direct product of Deion Sanders. So Dion has to take some of the blame in this too for what's going on with Shadur. Yeah. But look, I think Shadur wants all the accolades, but he hasn't done it. But you know what I do know, Tony? This is what I do know. Now, I didn't get to watch the game because it wasn't televised where I'm at, but I'm going to tell you what I do know. I did see the part at the end of it when Lamar Jackson was looking for him to kind of have a little, quarterback, dap, whatever, and he couldn't find him. Where was he at, Tony? The man, and watch it. The man came in with the swag and the jewelry and everything else.
Yeah.
But his ass left off the field with the feet, tail between the legs, on the bench, didn't want to be around nobody, and said, I don't like the way this feels. Well, I guess you shouldn't like the way it feels. Failure never feels good. The problem is, though, Shadur, and I'm going to say this for Shadur, you don't like the way it feels. Even Michael Jordan said, failure is equal to success. You got to fail before you succeed, and I'm hoping that this feeling that you're taking in is going to propel you to want to do better, be better, act better, and rise to success. That's what I'm hoping. But if he doesn't, oh well, he's not a Cowboy, so it doesn't matter.
Big Glenn, your thoughts?
Yeah, he should be coming on the field looking like that. I mean, we know who his dad is, which I get it, but he's a quarterback, he got to go in and take care of business.
That's a good point, Tony, and I'm glad you reminded me about that. So he does have a shot at redemption, right? So he learned a little lesson being in the backup role, but now that Gabriel is concussed, he will get the start. And I'm wondering how he comes on the field this time, and I wonder if they get that cadence right, because now he has no excuses, Tony. He could get all the first team reps over this week.
Yes. Oh, yes. But now, again, I mean, I look for him to play better, but it's going to be tough. I mean, I don't even know who they play, but it's going to be tough. Because I mean, I think Gabriel got a lot of first reps and stuff, and he's not got near as many. And I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying, I hope people don't expect. And I hope the dude comes out here and throws 2 or 3 touchdowns and plays great. But it's not going to be easy for him.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you.
Got
100%.
one last question, guys, and we'll get out of here. Who, in your opinion, right now is better right now between these two teams? Los Angeles Rams 8-2, Philadelphia Eagles 8-2. If you had to bet, who would you take right now? What about you, Jay?
Oh, and I've been thinking about this all day. We actually kind of talked about this on the other show with Philly Sports Guy, so I kind of got his thoughts on it. Lane Johnson, I believe, is injured right now, so he won't be there, part of that offensive line, if I understand that correctly. They have communication issues within that team. Clearly, that offense has not looked like it needs to look. The defense has kind of been carrying them in some cases, and even that defense has been a little rough. So even though they're winning games, they've won them kind of roughly. If you go back to the Rams game when they played the Rams, the only reason the Rams got that win is because that kick got blocked. If that kick doesn't get blocked, we may be talking about a different scenario there. So right now, I like the way the Rams are playing. They don't show dysfunction. They show a consistent product day in and day out. And we saw what they did with Seattle. We saw how they played against Seattle, which is an extremely difficult team coming into that thing. And that was a divisional game, and they handled them quite well. So because of all those things, I think the Rams, they're the better team right now.
It's tough for me. And again, this is just about like the New England thing that's coming out of my mouth. I hate to say it, but I'm going to go with Philadelphia 51% to 49%. And the only reason is because Philadelphia has been there before. I mean, they've done it recently. Well, the Rams have too, but I'm going to give Philadelphia just a 1% edge. 2% edge. I'm gonna give them 51%. I'd go with them 51% to the Rams 49. But I do like the Rams a lot. And I do, and that dysfunctional thing you're talking about with Philadelphia, that could rear its head and could be their downfall. I mean, that is a possibility. So I don't disagree with you. Big Glenn?
Rams. Not by much though.
Yep. Well, okay, guys, that's all I've got for today. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. Jay, you got anything else before we get out of here?
Hey, just make sure you give us a like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. You can give it over there at Gonzo Sports Room. Also, the QR code before you get out. We're going to start having the QR code on our show, and that's just our link tree. So you can scan the QR code and get all of our platforms where you can see Gonzo Sports Room and all the rest of the things we got. Also, one last thing. Tomorrow, we'll have on Celeste Marie Wilson on the Whiskey Hour. We will be talking about Korn and their unplugged MTV Unplugged concert versus Taylor Swift at her Tiny Desk concert, all acoustic. And believe it or not, it's actually going to be a good show, I think. So that is on the horizon.
Okay.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was done.
Real quick. Tomorrow we're going to be talking to the college football rankings. They come out tonight, I think, in between a couple of college games. So we'll be talking that, and then a little homework for you and Glenn. After you watch that, come up with what you think the top 5 best teams are, in your opinion. Don't have to be what their top 5 is. Come up with what you think the top 5 is. So we'll be talking about our top 5s, talk about college football rankings, and I'm sure we'll have a couple other things come up. So hope everybody enjoyed the show today, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.
Yep.